All right, let's do this. It's actually a calm morning this morning.
It is.
That is very uncommon. Why is that?
Everybody's just kind of laying around, resting. I don't know.
Are you gonna complain about it?
I'm never going to complain about him being calm.
Are you gonna complain about us not rushing to get you food, honey?
I bet she complains.
She'll talk about it. Hey guys, it's Kyle and Shannon. Welcome back to K&S Get Out. Man, this DIY stuff is not easy, especially when you're a technical person like myself and you want it all to be perfect and you overthink it and you plan it and you plan it and you plan it and then you run into a hurdle. So we're going to talk to you about that today. We'll go up and show you kind of what we're going through, but of course first we got to get these animals fed, especially before Herk gets a little too hyper.
We're on the verge of that, actually.
Yeah, speaking of Herk, we got news about him too. So let us get the food going and then we'll talk to you guys about that and go show you our little snafu on our DIY project up the hill.
All right, you're gonna have to go on your leash for just a few minutes so that we can get everybody's food.
Yeah. No.
And you don't start chasing people down or chasing goats down.
That's the best idea, bud. So as he's maturing, of course he's going through phases of what, puberty? Is it dog puberty? And he's still intact. And as you guys know, what we went through with Mario, that guy was intact. And it just messed with everything. And we're kind of learning, I guess, with animals, you know, it is all about who can breed and who cannot. And their attitudes are very different based on who's intact and who's not. And so we've...
Careful! There's a hole there. And I've been trying to put a bunch of straw and stuff in it to kind of help fill it in. So it's a little bit covered up.
But she a little bit enjoyed it. Herk set a trap.
It's Herk's fault.
He sets bombs that I step in, which I already stepped in a big one. He sets traps that I can't even see, and I step in. You're getting too much fun out of that.
Well, I'm laughing because I know that hole, and I've been trying to fill it in.
Yeah, I know it too. I just forgot about it while I was recording. This little guy.
Adler bear.
The sweetest. So, if you're new here, here's a quick update. Everybody here, all the males are either wethers or they're banded. That would be Larry and Harry. Or too young to be banded. So we're not quite there yet. And those guys exhibit male characteristics. I mean, making the noises, doing things that are weird to the other little goats. And unfortunately, sometimes pick on Mr. Herk. Well, they have struck a nerve with him. So when he gets hyper, that guy, hard to believe right now because he's being so sweet, but when he gets hyper, those boys are a target of his and he's got to prove his dominance. So we're making some changes around here. What's the deal? You're showing off because it's video day. You're being so good, buddy. They're gonna think we're the mean people because we're gonna tell them what we're gonna do.
Hey, by the way, if you see Herk favoring his back right leg, there's something going on with it. We have checked it several times. We've, you know, like one of us will be loving on him. The other one totally looks over his foot, looks in between his toes, looks at his pad. We don't really know what's going on, but he is favoring his back right leg a little bit.
Yeah, he's just kind of been leaving it hovered in the air whenever he's over there eating. Hey.
That was Spruce's fault.
I know it. And then Herk had to tell him.
Hey.
I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to know. He's still a puppy. It's hard to believe that because he's so stinking big. He's so stinking good most of the time. But he's still a puppy. And I feel like he kind of knows if he favors one of his limbs, then we're going to favor him. Of course, therefore, he may be an actor. I'm not sure. Right after he's limping, then he takes off sprinting, chasing the little goatlets. It's so hard to know.
Look, he's ready for... Let me give him one of these.
Yeah. Because there were just too many close encounters with the little guys and his attitude and other things that we witnessed that you guys don't need to see or care about, we've got an appointment for him to get neutered. Poor dude. But it's what's best for the rest. We talked about that with Mario. You know, we don't plan on breeding him, obviously. And we just want him to be a little more calm. We want him to step into this role, really enjoy things, and not always have to be so careful putting him on his leash and putting him over here in the nursery, which we had to do because he just wouldn't leave these little guys alone. So I think it's the right thing to do for the farm, for him, for us. And of course there are long-term benefits to his health if we go ahead and do it. He's fully developed, everything's good, but we're gonna have the guy neutered. But don't tell him. That's a good boy.
He takes them so gently. That's his flea and tick and heartworm medicine that I just gave him.
That's a good boy.
Good boy. They're yummy, huh? Nala got hers today too. Let's not make them wait anymore. Let's get their food.
Sounds good. Yeah, I guess we'll get food someday. Jeez Louise, I don't know. Feed me. Well, mama. Silly girl. It's coming, guys. Yeah, it's coming. Little patient here. Mr. Houdini over here. Hello. Aren't you being extra friendly? You got your little hay hanging out of your mouth today? Is that a good piece? She says, I'm just waiting patiently.
Can you come get her gate, please?
Do what, babe?
Can you come get her gate, please?
Yeah. Good boys. Go on in. Go on in before the sprucer gets over here. I gotta say, Blue did an amazing job with her boys. She was a wonderful mama. In fact, she still has to kick them off every so often whenever they try to nurse from her. Because you're just too big for that, big guy. Yeah, you're just too big. You're beyond that. But it tastes good. So great mama goat. Wonderful. This one, on the other hand, stepped it up just a little bit beyond that. She is really, really good with these guys. And they are still nursing, of course. But that's one heck of a mama right there. They get their system, but Larry gets so hungry, he can't help it. Come on, Bubba. Here, I'll take a blue one from you. Wah.
Come on. Come on.
He says,
You know where to go.
Where to go.
Come on.
Good boy. Rise and shine, time to eat. Atta girl. I had to loosen this last night because when Herk was in timeout in here, Mr. Ouija was beating on the gate a little bit. So it got turned. I really need to get a set screw. They were telling me about that whenever Mario was beating up that gate over there. So I need to get a set screw for all of these so that they cannot twist. And basically, I think I just drill through the metal.
Yeah.
Put a screw or a bolt or whatever with a nut. I don't know.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try that. Probably ought to get it a little bit straighter before I do.
Yeah. Okay, I got to go stand in between.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's that hole.
There's the hole. It's hidden. The straw. It's setting us up for failure.
Well, I mean, I can uncover it.
No, it's all right. It's all right. These two will play musical food bowls here in a little bit. Not because he wants to, but because he forces it. So we kind of got to stand in the middle and babysit.
Man, you guys are so messy.
They're hasters.
Yep.
I'm curious how they get any hay to eat if it's all on the ground.
Well, and I don't really like to pull the hay out from down here because I feel like the littles sleep in it.
Yeah.
And so then goats they go to the bathroom where they are. So I don't want to put that back up here.
Which we used to do that, but
yeah.
We kind of noticed that they quit eating out of that one, and the little hay feeders
yeah.
that we put out, they would all circle around those. So we were like, we might be putting pea and poo hay back in the hay feeder.
Yeah, which I really do want to replace this hay feeder just because we have so many goats now. I want something longer that they can all eat on and from both sides, kind of like your dad has.
Yeah.
But I know it's just...
Hey, Mom, Spruce still got food over there?
Yeah, he does. You gotta let him take his time. No.
I thought we learned to eat a little faster, big guy. Not when my mom's here to protect me. I don't have to. Silly boy. Silly boy. What you doing, Weed?
He says, I'm trying to go around my mom.
Hey, psst, hey, let's not do that. What about ear scratch? Will that help? No, I just want my food.
I didn't give them as much food as we had been giving them, so I'm sure he's a little bit upset about it.
Well, that's good. I know Dad, I mean, it's just an ongoing thing with how much feed you give them, especially grain and time to graze and hay and all that, and there's a balance. And the ironic thing is, I don't know if it's because they're a different breed or she's a different breed or whatever, but they all get the same food, same amount of food. It's just Ouija and Spruce a little bit plump.
A little bit plump.
Is that a good way to put it? Goodness. And honestly, if that's their makeup, I get it. It's okay, you know, but I want it to be because they're eating that much hay rather than we're giving them so much grain that it's putting extra weight on them. So we have been spending about, what, 1 to 2 hours a day the last 2 or 3 days, getting them out, letting them graze and run around. And man, it is so nice. It's so nice to let them do that. And they are on cloud 9 and they do a great job sticking with us. And
it makes them tired so that they're not in here fighting each other and chasing each other down. Afterwards, they're just tired and they want to rest.
Oh yeah, they about kick us out of the pen when we get them back down in here. They're like, all right, time to sleep. But it's been really good, and it's allowed us to cut back on the grain because they're getting to graze, they're getting to eat natural things that grow here on the land, and of course they always have hay. Big guy, you're so good.
Sorry, Luigi. Herk or Spruce is just taking his time.
I love you, buddy. Yeah. You're gonna be good for me? I know you are. Yeah. That's a good boy. And this Cuttlebug, we've been bringing him out with us, kind of gauging how he's doing based on morning feeding and everything, and we have found that it's just been best to keep him on a leash. We've talked about electric collars with you guys. I've never been that kind of person, but I've also never been the kind of person that has this many animals, or a guard dog, or an electric fence down here. So that still may be the answer so that Shannon and I don't have to pass a leash back and forth while we're walking these guys around. But it's just committing to it, and I think we're gonna start with the neutering first, see how that goes, and then we may have to add a little bit of training methodology. Honey, are you eating the hay or are you just wearing it? Oh, you're silly.
She's like, I'm done, let me out.
Did you feed your babies already?
I haven't seen her feed them yet.
She's not ready for it. She will call them over whenever she wants them to come eat. Hi, baby. Hi, boys. You're so sweet. Are you guys ready to come out? Yeah? Okay.
Well, now I'm going to have to fight her away from Spruce. He's not done eating yet.
Oh, goodness gracious, Pokey spoiled
He is like
brat.
taking his time today. Look, everybody else, Spruce, you may just have to fend for yourself.
Yeah. Keep him away from me, Mom. I'm going to eat every last drop and take all my time in the world.
He's seriously just taking his time eating.
I'm really just moving pieces of food from one place to another and not eating nothing.
He probably is, just to prove a point.
Sorry. Got to give it just a second. She'll go straight in there and eat his food. I mean, straight. And she'll knock him out of the way. Hey, Mama, you got any food left in your food bowl there? Huh? No? Yeah? Maybe? Boys? Anything? No? Okay.
He's close enough at this point, so if he's not going to eat quick, then it's kind of on him.
I agree. Come on out, kiddos.
First thing she did. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's why we've been teaching you to eat a little quicker, huh, buddy? She's finishing his powder and a couple little pellets. Hey, by the way, I love that you did this. We didn't have these pallets here, so Shannon came in, kind of twisted these around to make room for those, because they do all love to sleep in here, especially now that Mario's not around at night. Pretty much everybody, as far as goats. Well, tell him. Tell him he's a jerk. Come on, Weege. Come on, big guy. So yeah, she brought some extra pallets in here so it gives them one more surface they can lay on. Because usually it's Blue and her boys, Mama and hers, or vice versa. The big Weege likes to lay right there. And then even Mr. Spruce, who likes to sleep on the spool out there because he's a guard goat and he likes to wake up Herk if he hears anything. But some nights he likes to come in, and now he likes to sleep up there. Ain't that right, buddy?
I still need to cover it a little bit better with some pallet planks, but at least for now, the plywood helps.
Oh, for sure. The OSB.
Whatever it is.
We're
He's
learning.
proving right now that it's working.
Thanks, Ouija, for the prime example, my friend. You're so good. Larry says, hey, I was thinking some more attention.
Yeah,
would be
he's
great for
been
Mom.
craving the attention this morning. Be tough, Spruce. Tell him. Tell him. Blue's accepting a little bit more attention each day.
She did for me just a little bit earlier.
Notice how her head is away. She's still...
Oh, yeah. She's always skeptical, though.
She's not a close cuddler like these guys, but that's okay.
Hi, buddy.
Their water actually looks pretty good from filling it up last night. Just gonna add a little bit to it. I don't really know what this thing is. It's really weird looking. I thought it was just a leaf at first, but then it started moving.
By the way, the snake saga continues. We saw that, what was a couple videos ago, rat snake over here, and it's a pretty thick rat snake. I think I've met him on the property before over yonder. Yesterday, I went in here to get some hay for the goats, pulled up the tarp right there, and he was all coiled up laying right here. And of course, instead of fleeing to the woods where he could be free and safe, he goes back under the pallets. And I know a lot of you, including Shannon, don't want him around here because you just hate snakes. And we've had to have some conversations, and we don't want him here, but we're not going to try super duper hard to get him, because I do believe he's keeping mice and rats out of the hay, because we typically would open this and have 2 or 3 mice scurry off. Haven't seen a mouse in a while.
No, really haven't.
That's a good thing, right?
And I'm good with that if he's keeping the mice away, but as long as he just, you know.
Did you just say that? You're good with what? Like having
I'm
a
good with
snake
him
here?
staying here and keeping the mice away.
All right.
I just have to be a lot more cautious when I go to walk around and open things.
Well, fortunately, he's a species that, like, he's not here to hunt us. He doesn't want to bite us. He doesn't want anything to do with that. He's just protecting himself, but he knows this is just a buffet for him to eat mice anytime. So hopefully, he's not
Maybe
under
you
here.
talking as much as you did kind of got him to scurry away quickly.
It's a good possibility. That might have been a bit of my strategy. Nobody wants surprises, right? You see the hasting they did over there?
Yeah.
I filled that thing up last night. I might have to withhold hay and force them to eat the stuff that's on the ground.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. You got the whole crew coming. Literally.
You guys are all coming to eat out of one of the smallest hay feeders we have.
Here, Mom, come on. They act like there's not hay right there, right here. They think it's some kind of different hay, not realizing it's all coming from the same bale. But that's okay. Mom, you know some of us are a little shorter than others, right?
Yeah.
So, could you like maybe build me a little ramp or some stairs to my hay feeder, maybe?
I mean, you do a pretty good job of standing in the feeders or on the fence.
Well, that's because I'm awesome. But I'm just saying, you can make it a little easier for me to be lazy.
Oh, I don't think you need any help in that.
Larry came to the gate. So Spruce with a mouthful. Oh!
Are you claiming this as your feeder, Spruce?
Well, of course. Everything in here is mine.
What are you doing, Larry? You're kind of turning into a rotten bully.
Well, you know, I mean, I got a dad goat to live up to, you know.
Well, just because your dad goes and rams all the cows and all the animals doesn't mean you do it to us.
I can't blame him.
Hey.
It's how you become the boss man, Mom.
It's how you become the one nobody likes.
It's how you become the one you get targeted by Herk.
That too. Well, do you want to go up and show them the problem you ran into at the electrical box yesterday?
Yes.
It was a little bit of a disappointment.
It was, and I'm always hard on myself, like it's completely my fault. I let everybody know, but I'm learning to just take these as little hurdles we got to get over, and then we can continue to progress.
Yeah.
Learning. Not mastered, learning. Good job, guys. We appreciate you being good this morning. You're always good, aren't you? Maybe. Hey, I do appreciate you getting the tape up there.
Yeah, no problem.
We've been debating buying some of that plastic wrap that you tape up.
No, not we, Kyle. Kyle has.
I've been debating because I didn't want to address this side of the shed the same way that I did the other side, the one that you guys got to witness. But a roll of that plastic is 20 bucks.
And it's really not necessary.
No, she's right. So while I was working on some electrical stuff yesterday, she proved to me that it's not necessary, and she went above and beyond putting painter's tape across the whole window and trim. And it's stinking hilarious.
But it works.
But it works. So I'm hopeful to get that sprayed today. I still don't have a good solution for marking off the roof, but that was kind of...
I still think you should just use cardboard.
Well, how?
Hold it up with one piece and then spray.
That's what I did on the other side, and I did pretty poorly. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. I want that done. I want it all to match. So now that Shannon taped this side up, I can get that done. And then I don't have to tape all of the front doors, just like the outer, foot or 18 inches or so. And then I can get the rest of it done. So maybe today, since I ran into a nice little block on my electrical progress.
Yes, yes.
All right, guys, I don't know how long you've been here. I'm an IT guy by nature. That's what I've done forever. I worked a little bit in banking, but nothing construction. No blue collar job aside from an internship in college. Doesn't matter.
Is that how you say that? Blue collar job?
Yeah, blue collar.
Huh.
Those are the guys you see out there sweating that when we complain it's 102 degrees, they're like, yeah, I work a 10-hour shift 4 days a week and hard work.
Okay.
I feel like I've kind of become a blue collar person, but I just don't get paid the same way they do, or with the benefits. Or I don't get to clock in and clock out and stop doing it. It just stays with me. Anyway, guys, as you know, I rented the trencher. Whew, we got to get in the shade, don't we?
I know, I've been telling you that.
Yeah, no, you got the right idea. Shannon was right. Oh.
You guys will never hear that again, and it was only because he was talking about shade. That's it.
I was just getting ready to tell him that Shannon is always right.
Oh, whatever. I know that's a crock.
So this is Shannon's office. That's the building we had delivered. Love that thing. And Shannon's still been doing some of the work inside to get the insulation up, let it fall down, put it back up, all because I'm taking my sweet time getting this electrical in there, so we haven't been able to insulate it yet with the fiberglass. That being said, got the trench. 87 feet long, 110 feet of cable, came in this week, and I was like, all right, I'm gonna be Mr. Electrician. So I had to do a little additional research on the conduit. I'm not doing conduit in the whole thing. We're just putting the screenings down, put the cable in, screenings on top, protect it from the big rocks, and then push everything back in. Whew, that's a quick recap, right?
Yeah.
However, I went to Home Depot yesterday, thought I had everything mapped out. Drew it in my little graph paper, had the list of these are the pieces I need, and it's just the conduit to get it up into the office and up into the main panel. I thought I had all the details lined out. Went to Home Depot, they were missing a piece, spent 45 minutes there, went over to Lowe's, put it all together again, missing a piece, 45, it was terrible. Had to come back, remeasure some things, and then go back into town to Home Depot. It was, I don't know how many hours it was.
I don't even know.
But it was pretty treacherous. Then I got everything. Finally I stepped up to a little bit larger diameter because they had all the pieces in that one that I needed. And I got back here and I was like, all right, let's do this.
And I was super excited because I was like, all right, we're gonna get some electricity to my office.
So the ideal plan was, there's little knockouts right here, just like this one, and I was just gonna come right down this pole, head up the trench. Problem is, I didn't take the time to open the panel again. So these are the breakers that we put in that go over to the camper, and then we've got the others going over to the well house, and the breaker is down there. So needless to say, I am not a licensed electrician. I'm not a licensed anything, to be honest. I'm a really good IT guy, but I just don't do it anymore. So, you know, we're learning. I looked at the bottom of this and I thought, oh man, those knockouts will be perfect. I'll run that cable out. Came in yesterday, took this front panel off, which I haven't had off since we did the wiring for the well house and the camper. And look at this silly little blockade thing. My assumption, after hours and hours of grumbling and crying about it last night, is this has something to do with if it were used by the power company for a feed from underneath, it could come in, those knockouts come up and hit the meter, and it's not for, you know, the guy that needs it. And I can tell you right now, I've wiggled, I've shaken, I've tried to, I even thought about clipping this little guy, which has got to be like ripping the tag off a recliner. You know, you're not supposed to do that, right? It says, do not remove. So I can't do that. I can't get this out, and I don't know what to do. Quite honestly, the best idea that I have, kind of, and it may be illegal, I don't even know, guys. I'm gonna get a 2-inch hole saw, and I'm gonna have to turn the power off and everything because I don't want to hit these cables for everything else, and maybe drill over here and then route it down and around the pole. I don't know.
And the reason is because the knockouts on this side are not as big as the one on the other side.
Yeah,
it's like smaller.
They're for like Romex. So those small holes are too small for the gauge wire that I need to run all the amperage over to the office. So needless to say, I hit a little wall yesterday, and it was frustrating. It was very frustrating. So I'm gonna have to turn to a little more expertise and get some advice, accept some help, or just start drilling holes and get in trouble from the power company when they come to do their next meter read. I don't know. Or do they do that anymore?
I would recommend calling my dad first.
Okay, I'll call your dad. And I don't know. We're at a
standstill, guys.
We're at a standstill. If it's not one thing, it's another. I gotta be honest, I was really ready, and I really thought it was time when I was gonna get that power up there. I was very excited. And it just kind of wrecked my day. Still recovering just a little bit, but it's okay. You know, learn this way, and in the future won't do it that way again, right?
Yeah, he'll probably look at all the details first before you go and buy anything next time.
You know, that is kind of how I live, so it's a tough feeling when you thought you had everything in order and then you clearly don't. So sorry, no new updates, I guess, on that, other than the fact that we're still working on it. But it's still hot. I looked at the 10-day forecast, and I think about a week from now we're supposed to get down in the 60s
for one day.
No, I saw 2. I looked at the 10-day updated. It brought 2 in, like 61 to 62.
I'm not very faithful in that. Like, I don't have a lot of faith in that.
Yeah, I feel like the weather apps and weather people, they just like to give you hope.
They like to play mind games with you is really what it is.
Yeah, and we never paid so much attention until, well, you know, live in a camper and live out here and have to work outside all the time. But hopefully it cools down a bit. You guys feel neglected because the goats came first today? Hi, birds. You're furry! Oh, you know what?
What?
They're wormies. I don't have their wormies.
Oh, are they out?
Yeah, I've got them on order, but they're taking a little bit longer than I expected.
Oops.
You guys want some scratch? Or you could just go find bugs.
Let's see how they do just going out and looking for bugs today.
How cool would that be, big guy? No? You don't care. You just care about her. Hi, pretty lady.
I love this. She's always the first one out.
Oh, she is really, this is a pet bird right here. I can tell you. Opening that camper door and looking down and seeing her laying on the mat right at the bottom of the steps.
Oh, she stood outside the camper yesterday at the bottom of the stairs and just sat there and made her sounds like, hello,
It's
are you
so
gonna come
pretty.
see me?
I know.
And I looked out the window and it was just her all by herself out there. So once she realized we weren't coming outside just yet, she moved on.
Yep.
Didn't you, pretty girl?
Oh, Christina Hensworth. Best bird we got, huh? I know it.
Well, let's see if they come down the hill without worms today.
Okay. I have yet to get hit by any of them. Have you?
I have not been hit.
We would know about it,
Thankfully.
wouldn't we?
I think everybody would know about it if I got hit by a bird.
Yeah. Well, guys, we just wanted to share some updates with you. We have it on the calendar for Herk to go to the vet and get his neuter.
His manlyhood taken away.
Yeah. And it's all
It's
for
just
the...
necessary.
And of course the electrical, got a little bit of work to do there to figure that out, but we're gonna get through it and she's gonna have power in her office before too long.
One of these days.
Well, guys, we appreciate and love each and every one of you, and we thank you so much for coming on this journey with us. And as always, we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.